November is almost done. I tell you what, it is finished. It is tickets. It's klar. It's just 2 days to go. But what can I say? You're watching MahalaMonday, and we're back at night. And yes, Rhoda.
Right. Woo, welcome everybody, and I hope you all had your supper already, and we're all sitting and enjoying the show tonight because we've got a lot to talk about.
Absolutely a lot to talk about. But if you're watching this, what you got to do is like and share, and definitely subscribe, as Rhoda's indicating here. Hit the notification bell. That is what you got to do. We got a lot to talk about, isn't it?
That is right, Dougal. That's right. And I know one of the things that you're quite excited about is the CTMSC, which is the what is that? And you're so good at this.
Yes, the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre.
There we go. He's brilliant.
I didn't salt you. I memorized that. But yes, and very much so. And what you're talking about, because you will recall a couple of weeks ago we mentioned this to you. I mean, we all know it's festive season and we want to make a difference, right? And For Humanity has taken this amazing initiative, and they need your support, and we need your support. This is what it's all about. So guess what? We're not going to be here. Our surrounds are going to be very different next week, Monday, because we're going to be broadcasting live from the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre. And of course, we want to make this festive season joyous for them, but we need your help. And we're going to fill you in all the details towards the end of the show. So you definitely want to be part of this one. It is going to be brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And it's a wonderful opportunity for all of us to get together, of course, and make a significant difference, which is what we want. It's all about uplifting. So that is coming up at the end. We're going to give you all the details, okay? So we're going to give you all the details. So end of November, that is where we find ourselves. Yes?
Can you believe it? We're heading into December, people. I cannot this week, actually. I was quite shocked. I actually didn't realize that. But yes, that is so true. You know, it's kind of overwhelming. But you know what? I'm extremely looking forward to December holidays. I think we're all at this point where we need a kind of a holiday. Time out, break.
Is it?
Yes, definitely.
All right. But I tell you why I'm saying end of November, because normally we all know this. Black Friday, especially the last couple of years, has been front of mind for a lot of people. And then you have the sort of the extension, right? And then straight after that, because you're barely like, oh, November is done, it's the 1st of December. And that is World AIDS Day.
That is right, and that's one of our topics we're discussing, Dougal. It is World AIDS Day. And you know what, I always think back of when the first time I heard about HIV and basically AIDS, and you know what, how they actually introduced it into our schools and educated us on HIV and AIDS. And you know, I remember the fear that first time we heard HIV AIDS, you know, it was like, oh wow, scary, you know what I'm saying. And I'm quite impressed. Especially South Africa took this initiative and said, you know what, we need to do something with this. After tuberculosis, with the HIV, and then obviously into the AIDS, they've actually just upped their game and said, you know what, we need to do something. And I must say, apparently 20 years has passed, and we basically had started with treatment, which is HIV treatment, and I have much better understanding of the virus. People are receiving intraviral treatment. So that is the word, intraviral treatment. So you know what? We're so much further as far as I'm concerned where AIDS is concerned.
But we still find ourselves, I mean, like you said, it's a couple of years on. There's still this huge stigma around it, isn't it? There's still this huge stigma around it. And not only that, and with the stigma, I think it is, obviously, but for the lack of a better description, it's just as bad as having the disease, because if you are suffering, if you do have it, and then you are now a pariah as well, then that's like doubly bad.
Exactly.
And but we've moved along, because people used to think you could get it like COVID. Obviously, that's like
so true.
Caveman mentality.
That is so true. That's so true. And we're basically all living with it now, Dougal. You might not even know it. Somebody is actually with you that actually has HIV, basically, or you know what, at the point where it obviously develops into AIDS. So you know, it's become part of life, and it's funny that we're discussing this, because I know of one creche and parents that actually had a child that had gone to educate that actually had AIDS, HIV. And there was this whole buzz about, okay, how do you actually deal with that? Because obviously you need to be extra careful. And there was a discussion, should they have creche schools specifically, like especially more educate, if you look at the younger ones, that actually needs to go to these ones and be treated, you know, or just be treated to be careful. You know what I'm saying? So it was a bit of a, and it is still a topic today that people still discuss. You know.
So what are you saying? Sorry, let me just understand. So you're saying like, so to the educare, some of the learners that went there, some of them didn't have the sickness, others did.
Exactly. So the parents had found out, obviously, and there was a whole uphill about it. And I'm not 100% what the outcome was exactly of that. But you know what? It highlighted to me at the end of the day that it's actually still there. It's still real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It is.
We still have to educate our children.
But it is about that, and it's important that we're talking about this because we're living in this world. This is a conversation you should be having with kids.
Exactly.
It's a conversation that it should be everywhere. It is not a conversation to just those that is affected.
Exactly.
It is a conversation for everybody to have. I mean, there's different challenges, but the one thing we cannot stand by is we cannot endorse the stigma around it and the scapegoating that comes with it. And it has been a couple of years. And I do think that there's been a significant impact. One of the things that I know that has happened within the mother city, and it's happened with various landmarks as well, just buildings, that some buildings go all in red with lights, and a lot of cities do this, a lot of towns do it. People wear the ribbon and all of that. And that is something we're going to continue doing, definitely. So that, of course, World AIDS Day, it's going to be on the 1st of December, which is now just a couple of sleeps away. And then it's going to happen. But also for this month of November, and we're entering the phase, of course, it's been Disability Awareness Month. But more specifically, there's the International Day of Disabilities. That's on the 3rd.
That is on the 3rd, Dougal. It's International Day of Persons with Disabilities.
Okay, on the 3rd.
On the 3rd, yeah. So we have been chatting a lot regarding disabilities. We had Marlene here, last week. Ooh, it was very interesting. So yeah, quite a bit happening.
So and that is the day where it's just like a sort of international observance of persons with disability. Now, you're touching on what we spoke to Marlene about. And that was truly a fascinating show to see, because no longer are we at a case where we got to think separately. It is about inclusivity, whatever it is you're doing. And we're entering the festive season, and there's no better way to do it than at a party. Now, just hear me out here.
Okay.
Just hear me out. Because this happens, this still happens too much, where you have there's a person with, let's say, a physical disability. You know, so now we got to think in terms of ramps and as opposed to staircases and these sort of things, or steps or whatever. The point is, whatever we do, we got to plan around that it is accessible for everybody. Now, I'm using a party as an example, just a gathering, end of year gathering, people coming over to say Merry Christmas and do all of this, Happy New Year, whatever the case is. But imagine now, a party happens once, Christmas party comes once. Imagine that's your daily life. Imagine this is how you got to earn your living, that you can't do it. So whatever we do, we've got to have the mindset that everything has got to be inclusive. Now, Artscape has gone one step further. They've got the Artability Festival. That is just a couple of days away. And we spoke to some of the folks who's involved with that, of course, last week. Sensorium X, you got to check it. That is promises to be a fantastic show.
And it kicks off tomorrow, the 29th, Dougal. 29th of November. Guys, you need to book your tickets. You need to go and have a look at it. It looks amazing.
Is it?
Yeah.
And apparently you going, Rhoda.
Yes, I am. So you all need to get your tickets like me.
You can come say hi to Rhoda.
Yes.
He's going to be there. She's going to be there. So yeah, definitely go check it out. That is promises to be, it is wonderful. But I remember Jerron that was here, he's the choreographer of Sensorium X. And I asked him last week, I still said to him, so what, I mean, come on, you know, obviously it's a show, you choreographer, creative director with us, associate director with us. There's a lot to look forward to it. He said, people will hear what they've never heard before. They will listen like
So
they've never heard a thing. And I was like, what? And that's profound. That is absolutely profound. And once again, Artscape needs to be commended for this. They really, really need your support in this.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is everything around this production to make things accessible for people with disabilities. So we're not just talking about what's happening on stage. We're talking about what's happening behind the scenes as well. And let me tell you, if there's one person on stage, there's 100 people running around behind the stage. That's just the way it works. So all of that is going to be fabulous. So you definitely got to go support the show.
Yeah.
So the 3rd of December is
right.
that is the day, International Day of Persons with Disabilities as well.
I see Hubert's got a comment there. Hello, Hubert. He says, know them for their abilities, not their disabilities.
Yeah, that is so true.
Hubert.
That is
Well
such
done.
a powerful statement to
Beautiful.
make. It really is. And that brings me back when I say it is about encompassing everybody.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like, you know what? Funny enough, and I must say this, and Hubert's making me think of this now. Even so, sometimes I talk to a lot of authors and people who write things and all of that. And the one thing that is coming out now is when people write, the demographic split is not necessarily in your face. Everything is just assumed that it is a mixture of everything. We assume that as well as when it comes to people with disabilities. Once it comes to person with disabilities, I mean, we see this everywhere. And slowly but surely, once again, the arts is putting the pace out to the world. The arts is putting the pace out to the world.
Exactly.
So wherever you go, I mean, this is super, super important. It is definitely something. And you've got to go support Artsability Festival at Artscape. There's no two ways about it. But Rhoda, I want to move on to this because obviously, starting a couple of days ago, and it is a phrase, it's a dark topic. It's a dark topic. I wanna stress this. It is a dark topic.
Yes.
It is something that we should not be particularly proud of.
Exactly.
It is something we have this conversation year on, and I feel like a parrot. I feel like repeating myself, and I feel like the stuff that I hear is repeat, and I don't see any improvement. I want to ask you before I want to ask you this, but don't answer this just from what you observe.
Okay.
We're talking 16 days of activism, and I'm asking you the same question. Do you think we're making progress? Now, the progress you can define as awareness, but if you hear about it, are you really aware about it? Because then there's levels. Are you talking to your chommies about it? That would be one side. But do you think we're making progress? I think we're going in the reverse. Now, I'm going to ask you, and I'm asking you that as well. I'm asking you that as well. And I want to go as far as say, last week I heard of a horrible story, and I'm not going to name them because clearly I can't, but I will say this, sis, I heard this horrible story where a person is in hospital because of this situation, because of domestic violence.
Wow.
And when person comes out of hospital, nobody knows.
Yeah.
I heard this last week.
That is so sad.
So the question again, if you're watching this, do you think we're making progress? I mean, we have a ministry dedicated to this in South Africa.
That's true. To be honest, Dougal, me personally, I think the conversation is not happening at home. And I'll speak about experience as well, to a point that I've actually been in contact with somebody that basically has a son, and there's no male role model or somebody can actually talk to this boy. So where are we allowing this to basically get even to the point where women, children are ending up in hospital? The conversation needs to happen, because you know what? You as a parent, it starts at home, and you as an outsider seeing a child as violent, you need to step up and tell that person or that child it is wrong. And even, you know, Dougal, it still comes down to even women or men. It doesn't matter if it's boys or girls. It comes down to both genders, because bullying is happening at school, violence is happening. But we as a community need to put our foot down and say what you're doing is wrong. People are too quiet. They're not saying anything. You know your neighbor is being beaten right now, but what are you doing about it?
Yeah, and I know it's difficult when you mention it like this. Now, we want to just spend a few moments and talk about the whole thing around 60 days of activism. Now, we all know what it is about, you know. I mean, at this stage, I can't define it for you because this is my point. We can't explain it to you, but just in case, okay, you know, when it comes to gender-based violence, we know our numbers. We know our numbers in the country. And let's not just put our country out there. Let's just put the world out there. The mere fact that there's stats on this is ridiculous in the first place. So there shouldn't be stats on this because it should be something. There's no stats on Martians because we don't see this happen, and this is the point. So this is the same sort of level that you want. But the point is, for 16 days, everybody is on good behavior. And I don't think that is the case. I heard the president in the speech over the weekend speaking about male talk with everything when it comes to the toxicity and all of that. And I heard that, and I agree, but I also disagree because I just think we let the foot off the pedal there. But what do you?
I think so as well, Dougal, to the point that, like we said, it starts basically at home. If the community or the household is not right, and that child is being raised in, and I mean, I've had this conversation with somebody else as well. If you don't know anything better, if your mother is being beaten by your father as a boy, you're seeing your mother being beating, your mother being beaten, you get into your relationship, you smack around your girlfriend and then your wife. There's nothing, you don't know for the fact that that's not right because this is how you grew up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unless your friend comes and tells you, but you can't smack a woman around like that, and you'll be like, hey, so what do you mean? But it was never highlighted, it was never told it was wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I can speak, I mean, once I actually had a family member that was having a fight and in front of us, and I jumped up and I stood in front of him and I said, come hit me now, let me see how you're going to hit me. But it's because, you know what, everybody kind of takes a step back, nobody puts their foot down. And I think that's the most difficult part. And I knew, I mean, he could have beaten me too, probably as well, but I had to stand up. I couldn't stand there and actually watch this person doing this because I don't believe in male dominance and the stereotype of men that feels that a woman is of lesser, they don't have a say, you must be quiet, you must be in the kitchen. I mean, this is one of those women that you can never basically tell that to because I will.
I hear what you're saying, but let's just spark. We can all agree, and if you disagree on this, then bring it out because the numbers don't lie. Numbers never lie.
It doesn't
the
lie.
numbers haven't dwindled, and it could be that the population is more. But the numbers are increasing, activities are increasing. So here's the thing: we can understand and we park the argument just for a moment that it starts at the fundamentals, the basics, at the home. That I think that is the springboard for positivity and the results here. But let's park that just for a moment. This is something that happens throughout the globe.
Around the world.
This is not isolated
around the world.
to us. But the mere fact is that our numbers don't look rosy. Okay, so I think it is more case that we should be jumping us. Now I understand cultural makeup because me and you spoke about this. So what happens is when it comes to male, when men, you know what? Most of the time we're stupid. The point is when people talk about I wanna achieve a level with a girl. And it is seen as an encouragement that we do it, and we do it at all costs. And we only do it to stimulate egos and to claim bragging rights or whatever it is. But now, if you reverse it, it all comes down to what you're exposed to, what you're taught in the home. And then here's the argument. We have so many single households, parents. So there isn't that role model. So what do other people like me, for instance, do? Do I help? Because the one thing I don't want to do is if I see somebody arguing, or I think it's alluding to violence, most of the time, and this is the problem, because you don't intervene, you kind of...
Exactly.
Because you don't want to intervene. Because we all know that crooks use this to hijack your car. This is the real problem we stand. It's like you stop because somebody's hitchhiking, you stop, somebody hits you over the head, and there they go in the car. The hitchhiker is with the robbers. We all know that. So you find yourself in this moral dilemma space. What do you do? What do you do?
What do you do? And I think that is a big question. This is why it is where we basically where we're at today. I mean, I remember last year we also had the 16 days of activism, and I think within that 16 days, for me, maybe because it was highlighted, it seemed worse in that 16 days of women and children being killed, abused. It seemed worse.
The latest thing we've seen now is little kiddie abductions.
Oh,
this is like the new
please.
thing. We've seen children being abducted, and I mean, we all know rape stats are horrible, and then it's not, just the violent crimes in general, all of that, and not even domestic violence and all these things. And we know people can be frustrated at times, people are frustrated, and now you take it out on the wrong person, and this is what you do. But are we doing enough? Do we find ourselves in a position where we're going to speak up? So now we bring in the argument that starts at home. Young men, you need to be a man. Just be a man. If you can't be a man, then don't be a man. But the point is, you gotta speak out when you see this. You gotta have the mindset that nobody is beneath you, purely based on gender. More specifically, it is easy to get away with violent acts. It is easy because somehow it's been happening for a million years.
Exactly.
It's not. No.
And I read another article on Facebook, Google, and it was a case of like the rape culture. You know what I'm saying? It was called the rape culture, where men are sitting and they're talking about how they're going to be sleeping with this woman and how they basically determined to, and they're having this conversation apparently, and I read this article, and they didn't realize that now that they're older, having discussed this as youngsters, that in actual fact they were talking about a girl that was going to be raped, and that the guy eventually got it right because the conversation was, oh, I'm going to get this one into bed, and you're going to see I'm going to get into bed.
Yeah, people do that.
And for me it's like, seriously, you're having this conversation? What is the intention? And it was really just to get it to bed. I'm sorry, but that is a rape culture. That is you condoning it by not actually saying anything and sitting at and laughing about it. I mean, it's not acceptable.
Yeah, here's the thing, and this is where it is for me personally. It's because I'm the father of a girl child. So that is a weird thing, because, man, I'll be the first to admit it. I mean, in my younger years, I was aware of 16 days of activism. Now, granted, I never grew up in an environment where I was exposed to that sort of things.
Exactly.
I was aware that these kind of things happen in life, but I didn't have examples of that. So for me, it began at home, and I was fortunate. I was lucky. I was all these amazing things, privileged in that sort of way that I wasn't exposed to it. But here's the thing. Now you become a little bit older. It doesn't happen in front of you. It's not in your backyard, so you don't really care about it. And that was all my life. Now all of a sudden, you're a father of a girl child. Don't really think about it. Child gets older, you think different. You think very different. And this is, and because you think different, it turns you into a very skeptical person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not my fault. I don't think it's my fault.
No, it's not.
What more must I do?
Not more. And you know what, Dougal? Like we've been saying, this has been happening for years, and what's happening and why I think it's highlighted more is because we're living in the world where we're more social media, things are more exposed. Back in the day, we only had television, that's it. Now we've got cell phones, we've got YouTube, we've got the internet basically, and these things are being broadcast, and I think this is where changes is happening, for the fact that these things are being highlighted now. So we are more aware of it, and we can put our foot down, and we can have discussions like this, Dougal. This discussions never happened back in the day. It never happened. Everything was behind the closed doors, everything was quiet, and nobody spoke about it.
Yeah. Do you know what? The question is simple. Do you have this conversation with your friends?
Exactly.
Because, Hubert says the fact that we have a 16-day awareness program says it all.
So true.
16 days to be aware of something that is,
Let's all stop paying lip service, domestic violence, dark contrast to what so many. The fact that we have 16, that was the same one, of us still believe in. Oh, didn't get that one.
Yeah. And what Hubert is saying is that it is a dark contrast of what is really happening, and the fact that we have 16 days of activism, but some other people's realities are different.
So
This is the thing. Is it a conversation that we have? Do we... I mean, you know what, because I want to be enlightened. If I see somebody, like, assume now you see somebody happening, because I actually mentioned this to you a couple of months ago. There's a place where I go quite a bit, and I saw a little argy-bargy, and I saw a foot go up like a mawashi getting a kick, and luckily the security was close to me, and I went, and we both saw it at the same time. I was like, and they went on the walkie-talkies, and everything happened, and yeah, that was the end of that. So that's what it is. But the point is, 16 days of activism.
Yes.
I don't want to be talking about it again next year, and I've got to be honest.
Exactly.
I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, we talk about it, the awareness and the progress we're making, the numbers are looking good. But we can't be talking about this and like, we just need to pull up our socks for 16 days. No, it shouldn't be 16 days. It should be a forever thing.
Exactly.
And this is how you should... You can't do to somebody you don't want to be done to you. Done.
Exactly.
And if you do, you're an idiot. You don't belong here. So when Elon Musk's finished the plane, we're going to put you on a thing and you go to Mars and go sort yourself out there, go live amongst the rocks.
We're going to put you in the back end of it, of that rocket. And then everybody out there, if you're being abused, if you need help, there is help. There is help. Just
don't be quiet.
Don't be quiet. Look on your phone. There is basically just Google it, ask, I need help. There will be people that will be able to assist you and protect you. I mean, some of the police stations actually has what they call it. What they call is rooms where they actually have safe rooms.
Yeah.
So where they can actually put you in a safe room. You know what I'm saying? It can be done, guys.
Yeah, and I know it's difficult, it's difficult.
Yeah.
But we need to get the rubbish away.
So true.
That's as plain and simple. This is a plain, nobody deserves anything like that.
Yeah.
All right, so it is the festive season, enough about the heavy stuff, but let's move on to the much light-hearted stuff. So once a year, everybody gets excited because of a certain person. Jolly white fellow with a snowy white beard. He's got a bit of a belly, so, you know. He comes around about the 25th. And always fashions red.
Always fashions red, but Dougal, I must tell you that we have had different, complexions of Santas. It's not just the white little old man these days, you know. So when you have family functions, it does change. Please, let's not disappoint the kids now.
So, but what we're going to talk about is this thing next, okay? Santa's list. This is where you write a little letter. You like, did you ever do that?
I did.
And
I did.
Did any of your gooders ever come through?
No.
Listen here. My children do this, and every one of theirs come through because I've got no idea what to buy them. Okay. And this is how they tell you. And then, you know, oh, you want that. And normally you just no, because they ask for stuff that's nowhere near. But, I mean, you kind of make a thing. So that's why I always get them, and this is what I've been doing for the longest time. So the day of the list is really the 4th of December.
The 4th of December. That's
4th of December.
Yes, and Santa makes his list apparently. He makes his list for the kids as good, naughty and those that are nice. So, yes.
So if you're good, what do you get?
If you're good, obviously you write your list and you'll be able to get something good. You get, something good. A present you would like, yes.
And if you're not?
If you're not, then you find a lump of coal, apparently. So, you know what? Come, guys, be good. Otherwise, you're going to find a lump of coal under your tree there.
And isn't that ironic that Eskom don't have coal? Be as it may.
I think it's because there's a lot of naughty children out there.
Be it as it may, yeah. But the thing is, it's a time to be jolly. It is a time to be excited and just to get around. And there's wonderful songs and Santa Claus is coming to town and there he goes again and coming down the chimney.
Santa Claus.
Yeah. Name another one.
That one is stuck in my head. Oh, and don't forget Mariah Carey. I mean, everybody is like, you know what, the memes that's going around right now?
Is that like the number one?
That comes through every year, Mariah
All I Want for Christmas?
All I Want for Christmas is you. Yeah. Yeah. And then a very sad one for me is always Boney M. Because it's become a bit difficult for me to listen to it now, but that is like the Christmas thing. Every household, you'll be blaring it out of the windows, Boney M, Drummer Boy and all of that. But this was my father-in-law's I mean, we started 2 months before Christmas. It didn't start a month, 2 months before Christmas. And that up every single day you would play. You know, so now it's kind of got a bit of sentimental value to me, but it's still close to home.
Now, one thing, I never knew Boney M actually did regular songs. I thought they would just came out at Christmas time.
Can you see what I'm saying?
No, because they did like other stuff as well. And I was like, what? You know, and even that like Rasputin, you know, Rasputin.
Oh, yes.
That one. They did, I thought that was a Christmas tune, man, and it wasn't a Christmas tune.
So come on, guys, be good. And we need to work on this next year so that you can be good, so you can get a good present next year, kids. Come now.
Yeah. So get those lists in and enjoy it. Now, right at the top of the show, we told you, of course, next week we're not going to be, we're going to change our surrounds quite a bit more. What's Hubert saying?
You're getting older when Santa starts looking younger. Ooh.
Hubert speaks for himself.
So
Hubert talks for Hubert. Just, no, Hubert don't talk for me. Hubert talking for you? I've seen Hubert, people.
Yes.
Sorry. Let me just get my earphone here. I'm just teasing. But yeah, Hubert is absolutely right. We don't have to say Father Christmas or Uncle or anything like
yes.
it. But just last thing. I never said Santa Claus.
Oh, you never said Santa Claus? No,
as a kiddie. I always said Father Christmas.
Father Christmas, exactly.
But now everybody says Santa Claus,
Santa
right?
Claus.
Now, obviously, we know from up north, in the west, because you see it in the movies and the TVs and all of that, the songs. But now, everywhere, everybody's saying Santa Claus.
Yeah. I still say Father Christmas.
I still say Father Christmas.
Yeah, we still do.
And when I say Father Christmas, even to my children, they're like, ooh.
I think it's very much because of the ads American-wise, because for the Americans it's Santa Claus, you know. For us in South Africa, we say Father Christmas.
But here's the thing, it was called Saint Nick. How the hell did we get to Claus?
Nicholas.
No, from
Nicholas.
the X-Men. Nicholas.
I think
yeah,
so
but I mean, it's Saint Nick. How did we get to Claus?
I think we need to have a show on that one on its own, Dougal. Then we can actually look into the Santa Claus.
No, I stick to Father Christmas. You know, same oak. Yeah, but this is weird. Father Christmas, Saint Nick, Santa Claus. You've got so many names. Kersvader. Yeah.
Back to our Cape Town Multi-Service Centre, Dougal.
So, this is the one thing you don't want to miss. So, we're going to change our surrounds next week. That is what we're going to do. And on the 5th, Monday, we're going to be broadcasting live from the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre, which is situated out in Salt River. Now, of course, we need your help for this one. So, For Humanity is involved, of course, as always. And, it's just a wonderful things that is going to happen. But now, first of all, the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre, they perform such an essential and vital service to society because they looked after numerous of boys, young youth, boys that have been abandoned, abused, and this is where they stay. Now, we've actually visited the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre not so long ago, and I can tell you what, they do absolutely amazing work. They really do, not only just to rehabilitate the boys, but also the end goal is to reunite them with their families. But sometimes this is not possible due to circumstances, and that is why it is so important, like when we have campaigns such as 16 Days of Activism, that we really take this serious. Now, they perform amazing work. But with your help, they can do a huge amount more, Rhoda.
Oh, yeah.
They can absolutely do a huge amount. Now, of course, we know you're watching, and we know you are warm and kind and generous. And on the screens right now, of course, you see the accounting details. So we ask you to give generously so you can definitely make a difference, of course, and use that reference there, CTMSC, which is the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre. Use that as a reference. If you want more information, definitely email info@4humanity. So this is a big project because with the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre, there is so much, Rhoda, that they need. Now, firstly, they cater to boys between the ages of 10 to 18. That is what they do. So the boys live there, they get their meals. But as you can imagine, if you're in that age, toiletries is quite a thing. And we're talking toothpaste, deodorants, underarms, these sort of things. So if you can help with that, that is brilliant. And of course, toilet paper or everything that goes around in that as well. And then, of course, the service center in itself needs your help as well.
Exactly.
And this is important. So we're also looking at like sort of built-in cupboards that we want to do. Also in terms of infrastructure when it comes to like, you know, stoves,
Ovens.
fridges, that sort of thing. But you can email us at info@4humanity.
Oh, yeah.
We'll give you a lot more information. But most of all, we're going to be broadcasting from there. And we invite you
Exactly.
to pledge as well during the show.
Yeah.
And even between now and then, if you have made a pledge, then definitely challenge all your friends. Send it
Oh, yeah.
to everybody on social media, even people you don't know, especially the
Exactly.
ones you don't know. And
Yeah.
send it to the people that we all have a friend who's got a lot of money. I'm sorry. But we
true.
all have a friend who's got a lot of money and whose business, who's always bragging, oh, I'm doing well. I'm doing, now, Daibra. Daibra.
You.
Send it to me. Now, we all have that, bruh. I have 3 of these friends. They always tell me, oh, no, things are going well. Okay.
No.
We're not asking for a lot.
Yeah.
We're not asking for a lot. But the one thing, die druppels maak jy emmer vol.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
There's Hubert again. No one has ever become poor from giving.
Exactly.
So true.
Exactly.
And I actually want to bring up as well, you know, there's a lot happening right now, and I'm mentioning this specific one where people are at the center shoebox going as well. You know what? Here is a center that actually needs help, guys.
They need
you
help.
know, they need help.
They need
so
help.
come, let everybody jump in. You know what? There's a lot. If you really think of boys, and these are kids that was abused, they basically be taken off from the street, guys. We want to give them a better opportunity in life. Educate these kids. You know, show them at the end of the day that we as a community care and we want to uplift them. We want to be there for them. You know, so, I mean, just think of it. If you got a son, if you have a son there, you know puberty starts at the age of at least 10. You know what? 9, 10. You need underarm. You need underwear. You're going to school. You don't have a mother and father. You're going to school. You're being exposed to the rest of the other kids. You know what? You don't want to be basically falling short from anything. You don't want to be smelling, you know. So underwear, you know what? Anything, guys. Come on. If you're wanting to, you can come through to our offices here in Bellville as well. We'll have their details available as well. It is available. We can take it to them as well. If you're finding yourself not being able to get to town, we are situated in Bellville.
Yeah. So just as far as that is concerned, because we're talking like just sanitary wear as well, and toiletries in general. So from roll-ons to soaps to toothpaste, deodorants, body lotions, hairbrushes, towels, face cloths, toothbrushes, the whole shebang katang, everything. And then also when it comes to, I mean, obviously you can imagine they've got a huge food bill.
Yes. Oh,
They've
my
got a
word.
huge food bill. All of that help. That is what we need. So we're going to do a drive, and you can drop it like Rhoda says. You can bring it here. You can drop it off here right in the studio. Give it to Rhoda in her hand. Yeah, give it to her in her hand. And more importantly, with this that we're going to do on Monday next week, we want you to be involved and to challenge everybody. Now, of course, if you're doing this as an organization, as a business, as a brand, we will give you exposure. We will give you exposure. But also, you might be sitting with an idea right now that you have, how you think you can make this easier. Then definitely just drop an email. Let's talk. Let's collaborate. Let's make a difference. We're just mentioning some of the things that we know that they definitely need.
Exactly. And all businesses out there, if you're going to be doing any donations as such, we can give you an 18A certificate for your donation. So don't stress about it. It is definitely doable.
Yeah. And privately, you challenge your friend who said he's doing
well. Challenge them.
Yeah. I know one guy. I know one
I'm
guy.
quite excited. We're going to be there next week.
Yeah, so next week we will be there early in the morning. We're going to all be there. And we definitely want you to be in full swing with this one and to support us all the way. Please, let's make this festive season definitely a big difference. I'm going to show you a little video, though, on what the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre looks all about and what they do. So today we're at the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre and we need your help because together with the For Humanity projects, you can make a huge difference for the boys that reside here. Now this centre, the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre, cater to youth, boys who were abused and abandoned from the ages of 10 through to 18. And this place does amazing work. And this is why we need your help, because together with the For Humanity projects, we can make this festive season absolutely amazing, that will positively contribute to their further development. So there it is, of course. There it is. And that was outside how the building looked. Now, of course, we'll be broadcasting there now. As you know, of course, as it goes with the regulations, we won't be able to show you any footage of the children. But
itself,
all the information you need, you can certainly just email info@forhumanity.co.za, as simple as that. Or alternatively, you can email info@Nickay.
That's right.
We'll provide you with further information.
You'll find all information and give you the address where you can drop off your things here in Bellville as well.
Yeah. So let's all get involved and let's make a difference for the Cape Town Multi-Service and really just make this the best festive season, and especially that springboard to go into the new year. And it is super important because when we talk about 16 days of activism, when we talk about having the awareness, here's an opportunity for us to really make a difference and to speed this on, to really speed this on. We talk, at the Multi-Service Centre in Cape Town, at Salt River, where this place is, these are boys that are youth that's been abandoned, abused.
Exactly.
The very reason why we've got 16 days of activism is why this place exists.
Exactly.
Although this place fulfills a major and vital part in society, in my personal opinion, a place like this shouldn't exist. But that's heaven.
True.
That's heaven.
That's true.
So let's make it a big heaven by contributing. Please, please get involved and share this and invite all your chommies and also invite the people you don't have friends.
True. Is that Dougal?
That's it.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for watching. What we have now discovered is we know a lot more about everything that is happening around us. We've also discovered that Eskom will be getting coal for Christmas, but that is only because they haven't made a list, or have they?
Because they were naughty. Yeah. And Hubert got the comment. Nelson Mandela said, "What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is in what difference we have made to the lives of others." That is so true, guys. Come on, let's make a difference in other people's lives. Make a difference into these boys' lives.
Yeah. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all the wonderful comments as always. Absolutely brilliant to have you here with us at MahalaMonday. And we'll be back next week on the 5th when we broadcast live from the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre. Yeah. So we look forward to having you with us. And remember, it's going to be 10 a.m. We'll be live there at the Multi-Service Centre. So join the broadcast. More importantly, of course, make your donations. And in the meantime as well, if you want to contribute, please do that. And we will definitely give you a brand some exposure. Yeah. It's going to be absolutely brilliant talking to you on the day and also, of course, during the course of the week. Rhoda, dankie.
Yeah, nee, dankie. I just want to find out, I'm putting our director on pressure right now. We will be broadcasting the show again, the morning show at 6. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Just to get the word out there.
To
keep our guys up at 6 o'clock, still watching us at 6. Yeah. So we'll still see you there, even though we'll be there at 10. Okay, live.
We say yes to everything.
We just say yes to everything. See you guys.
Cheers, everybody.